Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are on a very sparkly and very high-stakes mission. We're doing a deep dive into the massive legacy of Sailor Moon. I mean, how Naoki Takeuchi's series just completely defined the magical girl genre. We're talking 3 decades ago. And we're not just here for the great transformation sequences. We want to get into the creative DNA that Sailor Moon set up. Think about it. It had this perfect balance of like slice of life, school drama worrying about exams with these huge cosmic stakes.
Exactly. And that framework was so strong that the modern landscape of magical girl anime is just incredibly rich now. So our mission for you today is basically a shortcut. It's a way to understand how the genre has evolved. We've got a curated list of successors from staples to some really surprising crossovers. And it's worth noting, the diversity that popped up almost immediately after Sailor Moon. You got the whimsical animal-themed stuff like Tokyo Mew Mew. But then on the total opposite end, you have these surreal psychological journeys like in Revolutionary Girl Utena or Princess Tutu.
Right. And those shows proved the genre could handle pretty much any tone.
For sure. But they still all relied on that core Sailor Moon idea, the importance of female relationships.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's jump right into the franchises that took that blueprint and really made it a staple for a new generation. We have to start with the big one, the machine that is the PreCure franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the modern series. It launched with Futari, what PreCure, way back in 2004. And it just hasn't stopped.
And what's so fascinating about it is the structural model. It's brilliant. They basically borrowed the DNA from live-action shows like Super Sentai or Kamen Rider.
Meaning they reboot it every year.
Every single year. New characters, new costumes, new villains, a whole new theme.
And that works so well for this genre.
It's genius for 2 reasons. One, financially, you get a whole new toy line every year, so it stays profitable. But narratively, it means they deliver fresh emotional stakes without being weighed down by, 30 years of complicated lore. The core is the same. Girls finding power by working together, but you, the viewer, get a new journey every spring.
That flexibility is just incredible. Okay, let's move to a 90s classic that has aged, I think, better than almost anything from that decade. Cardcaptor Sakura.
A masterpiece.
It's always mentioned alongside Sailor Moon as, essential viewing. The premise is pretty simple. Sakura Kinomoto accidentally unleashes these magical cards and has to get them back.
Right, but the real magic is in the details, isn't it? If Sailor Moon was about destiny and, innate power, Cardcaptor Sakura is about human creativity.
You mean the outfits?
I mean the outfits. In Sailor Moon, the transformation gives them their fuku. It's magic. But in Cardcaptor Sakura, her best friend Tomoyo is literally designing and sewing a new, incredible battle costume for every single mission.
So it grounds the whole spectacle.
It grounds it in friendship and craftsmanship. The amazing visuals aren't just magic, they're an expression of their collaboration. Tomoyo is her biggest, most stylish supporter. It's a different spin on partnership, but just as powerful.
That is a fantastic distinction. Okay, let's zoom in on that core spirit of Sailor Moon, the whole identity exploration and personal growth thing.
Right. We're moving away from saving the world and more into the internal world of a high school girl. The magic is less about saving the planet and more about saving yourself.
And I don't think any series does that internal battle better than Shugochara.
Oh, for sure.
The main character, Amu Hinamori, she has this huge disconnect. She acts all cool and punk rock on the outside, but inside she's just full of shyness and self-doubt. And the way the magic works is, well, it's brilliant. Her companions, the Shugochara, they aren't sidekicks. They're literal magical manifestations of the person she wishes she could be.
Her desired self, yeah. It almost feels like, an animated version of therapy. Amu has to learn to integrate all these different parts of herself, the artist, the leader, the baker, to become a whole person.
The magic is literally the tool for her to mature psychologically.
Exactly. It's such a heartfelt take on identity. And if you take that need for deep bonding and map it onto a high fantasy quest, you get another Clam and P classic. Magic Knight Rayearth.
This one really just throws you in the deep end. It's a pure fantasy quest. 3 girls get yanked from a school trip into a magical world called Saphiro.
They're not saving their hometown. They have to rescue a princess immediately. But what makes it a Sailor Moon successor is that their power is totally dependent on their bond.
They start as total strangers.
Total strangers. But this intense world forces them to build this profound teamwork fast. Their success isn't about their individual power. It's about the strength of their emotional commitment to each other. That is pure Sailor Moon DNA.
Okay, now for my favorite part. This is where it gets really interesting. When the genre starts, deliberately challenging itself.
The deconstruction.
We have to talk about the show that completely redefined the narrative.
Well, Magi.
Madoka Magica. The setup is pure magical girl comfort food. Madoka is approached by this cute little creature, Kyubey, who offers her a wish if she'll fight witches.
But the show is groundbreaking because it just dismantled that whole contract, introduced these like cosmic horror elements, the cute mentor figure, Kyubey. He's actually a cold, utilitarian alien who sees the girls as disposable energy.
It's just so dark.
It completely replaces the reward of power and friendship with this fatalistic contract that guarantees sacrifice and existential dread. It took the familiar look and feel of the genre and then just revealed the horrific costs behind it.
A total structural subversion. But, okay, sometimes subversion is just pure comedy.
Right.
Which brings us to magical girl lore.
Oh, I love this one.
It's just so absurd. Saki Uno is a pop idol who inherits the magical girl mantle, but her transformation, it doesn't turn her into a princess.
Yeah.
It turns her into a ridiculously muscular man in a frilly outfit.
It's brilliant commentary. It takes the need for these epic fight scenes and just, lampoons the whole hyper-feminine aesthetic. All the humor comes from Saki delivering these heartfelt speeches while looking like a bodybuilder.
But it still has the heart.
Totally.
Yeah.
It critiques the aesthetic, but it absolutely keeps the core charm. Her genuine desire to protect people is still there.
Okay, so if we zoom out a bit,
We're
we're seeing this spirit of partnership and growth start to spill out of the genre.
way outside. It starts infiltrating genres like high action and even mecha series.
This is maybe the most surprising part of the whole dive.
Yeah.
Let's look at Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. This show is a landmark, the first female lead in a Gundam series.
Right. And you might be asking, wait, a Gundam show? How is that magical girl DNA?
That's the key question. Gundam usually focuses on the genius pilot or, big political conflicts.
But Witch from Mercury is different. The pilot, Soletta, is navigating this intense corporate school, and the story is all about her emotional vulnerability and her forming this intense, fated partnership with Myrene.
If you run, you gain 1. If you advance, you gain 2.
That motto, it's a mandate for growth through collaboration, and their partnership literally unlocks new power in her mobile suit, Ariel. The relationship is the source of strength, not just the weapon.
That's the perfect thread to follow. We see that same focus on collaboration in other action shows too, like Fudo PI or SSS Grideman.
Yes. The connection is explicit. It's about fusion. In Fudo PI, you have 2 detectives who have to merge into a single Kamen Rider. That only works if they're in perfect sync.
So unity is literally the prerequisite for power.
Exactly. And in SSS Grademan, the main character has amnesia. He completely relies on his friends to recover his memories, which in turn unlocks the combinations he needs to fight the monsters. His power comes from his social network.
We should probably mention Kill la Kill here too.
Oh, absolutely. It merges intense battles with these core themes. Ryuko's power comes from a sentient uniform, Senketsu, that she has to be in constant dialogue with. It's the ultimate magical partner. It challenges her and helps her understand her own identity.
Okay, for our final segment, let's look at some of the quirkier and more visually unique modern takes. First, the incredible style of Star Driver.
Just a visual feast.
It really is. Takuto Tsunashi is protecting this island from student villains trying to take over the world. It's got that high-stakes school rivalry vibe down perfectly.
And its appeal is that aesthetic commitment.
Yeah.
It's got this stunning, polished design and playful story that feels like a modern homage to the genre's roots. Pure style meets substance.
The genre is really blending with everything now. We have to talk about these last few. First, the wonderfully bizarre Zombieland saga.
Yes, a perfect example of how the teamwork idea is more important than the magic itself. It's a group of undead girls forming an idol group.
Silly, but also fierce.
Totally. The magic is that they're reanimated, but the real story is them overcoming their tragic past through collaboration and performance.
Then you have something much gentler, like Would CH Watch?
A great slice-of-life comedy. It's about a teenage witch, Nico, and her Oni friend, who's her protector. It proves you don't always need cosmic stakes. Sometimes the magic is just the backdrop for a story about 2 friends.
And finally, a really unique one, ZNSUU.
A fascinating isekai twist. An animator, Natsuko Hirose, literally gets pulled into her childhood anime. Her superpower is her creativity. Her artistic skills actually reshape the story's destiny.
So stepping back, we've covered, the whole spectrum, from huge commercial franchises like PreCure to radical subversions like Madoka Magica and then genre benders like Gundam. And I think the big takeaway is that because of Sailor Moon, the magical girl genre isn't just defined by transformation sequences anymore. It's defined by the internal work, friendship, identity, and conquering adversity, whether that's a space monster or just your own self-doubt.
So, what does this all mean? The modern magical girl genre proves that whether you're piloting a giant robot, turning into a muscular man, or forming an idol group as a zombie, the spirit of collaboration and identity is the real magic. It's a universal language for growth. Which leaves you with an important question to think about. If teamwork and personal growth are the true magic driving these stories, then why does the genre rely so heavily on such dazzling visual spectacle? Is the aesthetic of frills and sparkle just there to distract you from the deep, often dark emotional labor the characters are doing? You might want to explore how that visual strategy influences other genres that deal with complex emotional themes.